Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Real Estate Roundtable presented by Angie Goulet and Associates. We're a real estate team located in the Windsor-Essex County area with RE/MAX Preferred Realty. In this week's episode, we'll be discussing preparing your home for sale. My name is Steve Blaze, Team General Manager, and I'd like to welcome two other realtors today, Julie Sylvester and Arvind Charda. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey,
Good
everyone.
afternoon. Thank you.
So when we're getting ready to list a home, when a client calls us and says, okay, I'm ready, let's get that sign going and let's get the house sold. The first thing that we do is we start going through the home and trying to go through tips and things that we can do to make it more appealing to buyers. Arvind, what are some of the things that you like to tell your sellers to do to the home or help them with?
I think, Steve, the list is very long, but I think we don't have time to go over everything, but I do have some tips I can give to the sellers that they are ready to put the house on the market. A few days before, I can go over there and kind of go to the house and see what needs to be adjusted and furniture to be maybe adjusted or some things. But main thing to me is the first impression is the last impression. I always find that if people walk into your front door and your entrance, it should be inviting. Your front door, if there is any chipped paint or something, just touch up, and any clutter in the front door, or even when you walk up, the landscaping, maybe it's too early to do the landscaping, but have it clean. That is the number one. Have your door handle shining and your mailbox shining if that's there. So have all the first impression is very, very important. Then as you walk in, the foyer also should be decluttered. Some should be very inviting. And that is another thing I would recommend. Third thing is that the kitchen counters, and when you walk in the kitchen, there should be no clutter on the kitchen, maybe fresh flowers, maybe a nice candle, and very little, on the countertops. And the dining table, kitchen table should have some flowers. So these are a few things, but there's light bulbs should be also changed to the higher voltage so that you have lots of light. If there's a day of showing is a cloudy day or it's a raining day, that should be also into consideration. Another thing is that I would like to do is that if there's any door or any cabinet has a squeakiness, have that kind of taken care of. Another thing is that you will like to make sure that there's nothing in the stairs, got downstairs, in the stairs, that you remove all this stuff. So these are a few things that I would definitely make a recommendation to the people before they sell the house.
Absolutely, right? WD-40 is your friend. For
Yes.
sure. Because we've all gone to show homes and you can't get the key in the lock, right? Or it's stiff and you can't turn it, and you're spending a minute trying to get in the door, and it's just not a great impression to the buyer as they're standing there watching you, or that long creak when you open the door.
Exactly. You get the door open, it's so tight and you're trying to push it, and then you think you didn't get the lock open properly and they're looking at you and you're panicking.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
yes.
And we're talking about that front entrance, that whole experience, right? Like sometimes people will say, well, look, bring them in through the garage or that kind of thing. And I always say, if we can, let's get people through that front door. Let's have that experience into the foyer, and rather than going in through the garage, even though that's often the way the sellers go in, because they'll park their car in the garage and go in that way. But Julie, any tips that you give out?
Yeah, kind of a lot of what Arvind's saying and going off of that. But I think key things that I always say to keep in mind is that clean, light and bright, and easy to walk through in a good flow. So if that means removing, like Arvind was saying, bulky furniture, if you have a small room and a lot of furniture in it, maybe take a couple pieces away to make it seem like a bigger room with a little bit less furniture. The space will seem bigger. Open all your windows, so all the natural light's coming in. And that kind of goes with what Arvind was saying too about turning on all the lights. Another thing I like is giving every room a purpose. So in your living room, if you make it a conversation area. So when people walk in, they can say, okay, we could see having company here, sitting down in this space and enjoying a cup of coffee and having a good conversation. If you need, a lot of people need home offices these days. So having an office set up in a bedroom is kind of appealing to buyers right now, I think, as well. And I think just good flow. So you can walk around, you're not bumping into things walk the house yourself as if you were a buyer, maybe, to kind of get an idea of how it looks maybe in someone else's eyes, or even have a friend come over and give you some tips and pointers, so it's not your own personal thoughts, because everybody thinks differently about their own home.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just like clean and inviting is what buyers want to see and what welcomes them into a home.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's so true. When we give out tips, I mean, there's different markets. So some of the tips that we would have given out, years ago, maybe even like 10 years ago or 8 years ago, are a little bit different than now. So for example, remember those days of a freshly baked apple pie or cookies? I'm still trying to lose those pounds, actually. But it's really hard to do that now, right? I mean, because we're in this busy market, we're often delaying offers for a week, let's say, and we've got kind of a revolving door for that whole week. It's really just not that possible to do those things. So is there anything that we can do to kind of give you that fresh smell, or maybe
just at the end of the day, after all the showings, just tidying up and cleaning up, wiping everything down, lighting a candle, maybe have a Scentsy one, not multiple. Just to keep it fresh every day, so that when the new day starts, it's going to be busy. There's going to be lots of people through, so you don't have time in between. So if you can do a nice cleanup the night before you go to bed, freshen up quickly in the morning before work, and then I think that's the best way to go about it.
Yeah.
I think also, I think these days you can get those plug-in, that those are really, they're good, expensive, but they're really good as you walk in, and they constantly are throwing freshness and fresh smell. It shouldn't be very strong. It should be very, very gentle. So that also takes care of, so that you don't have to worry about baking cookies or having popcorns, as we used to do that before. Those things also can be helpful. And I feel that fresh flowers, really, you can buy a nice big bouquet of flowers and kind of spread them around in different areas. So it gives a nice feeling. And also, I think, especially in the bedrooms, if you can have a white linen, even duvet, and have white ones, and fluff pillows, those kind of things really are very inviting and very comforting when you walk in the bedrooms. So make sure you can maybe layer up your duvet twice and have the pillows fluffed up more. So it is really giving you a cozy feeling. And those, I think, I really would recommend to the seller as well.
Absolutely. All good points for sure. Talking about the idea of, multiple offers today and that busy week in between offers and when you list, one of the things that I recommend, if at all possible, is trying to make, today with COVID, we can't overlap bookings if we can help it, right? Remember the days when you would go show a home and there's 50 pairs of shoes, and you took a better pair if they were nicer than yours on the way out the door, right? So I think what we could do.
I never did that.
Oh, you never did that? Oh, shoot. I've got so many good pairs of shoes in my house. So what I think I would recommend to people, if they can, is to make it easier for buyers to show. Oftentimes, because we're going with shorter showing periods and we can't overlap, that day of showings is filling up and there's an end to it, right? We have a week or whatever to show it. So I think that if perhaps maybe pets, if you have relatives or friends that you can leave a pet with for a week, and it just makes showing so much easier. You don't necessarily have to be home then to handle the pet. And then there's no risk of a pet, running out or anything like that. And then, in yourself as well, if you're not having to go in and out all day long, right? If you can, plan on being gone, get those showings to happen. So it makes it much easier. In fact, think of it as a little vacation. Maybe get a nice Airbnb or something like that, and take the week and auto approve those showings and just get as many bodies in there as you can, right?
And also another point. Sorry, I had another point that I was bring it up, that I think it doesn't cost too much, but it really adds up if you make sure that all your handle doorknobs, all your handles on the cabinets and in the bathrooms, all the hardware, just have it shiny, because that really gives a beautiful, fresh look. I would recommend that doesn't take too long, but just a few minutes, just wiping out. People feel that this homeowner is really, really very meticulous and is very clean. And everybody wants to buy a clean, nice home. And that's a plus for everybody.
Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. Julie, you were going to mention something?
Oh, I was just going to say about the cats too. I just had a situation, a listing with the cats too. And I kind of mentioned to them, maybe if a family friend could watch them, because I would worry about the cats just running out the door with all the people coming in and opening the door constantly. And anything you can do to make things easier for yourself is the best way to go about it.
I won't attempt at chasing a cat. They're just more agile than I am, but I have chased dogs and it's not that fun.
No, I don't want to be responsible for a lost cat.
But another thing that we can do during these times is with, preparing. If I walk into a home to show it, I'll often get the question from the buyers, like, do I have to take my shoes off? Do I not? Just make it easy for them. Let's get a sign in there like we do that says, yeah, please remove your shoes. I know I need to then. And then we'll have the PPE ready, which our office provides, of course, for our listings. The extra masks, the hand sanitizer, even booties and that sort of thing to go over your shoes. Not everyone can get down there to take their shoes off very easily, so it allows them an option. But, just making it convenient for them. Sometimes you forget that mask at home. These days. So,
yes.
Yeah.
What
else do we
also we are going to do I think these days we do recommend to the people when we are showing homes that leave the doors open, leave the lights on. So this way nobody touches anything. So it's all touch-free a walkthrough, touch-free showings. So this way that everybody knows that okay, we don't have to worry about, because especially if somebody has a small children, you have to be extra careful. Because you don't know who's coming in. But we are being very, very cautious when we walk through the home. We make sure that we are, definitely observing all the rules that we are supposed to. So we are safe, and we make other people safe as well.
So true. And if we're going to be leaving doors open, so if we're recommending to people maybe they leave the closet door open slightly, that's one of those overlooked areas. When people are kind of getting their homes ready, they're often filling the closets, and everything that we're decluttering ends up somewhere for the most part. So if I would recommend going in and trying to do make the closet nice and neat, something that's normally overlooked. But when we're talking about decluttering, one great thing these days are those, the pods, right? Those are fantastic for being able to declutter your home and take all the unnecessary stuff out of there and have somewhere dry to store.
Yeah, and it's nice. You can put it right on your driveway, so you can just load it all in, and then when you're ready to move back in, somewhere.
I think that's the best.
Home well.
Yeah,
the best.
Yeah.
We never had that a few years ago, or 20 years ago. We never had this kind of facilities before. You had to go take it to storage or dump it or whatever. But now every belonging that you have is right a few yards from your front door, and you can just go and grab what you need as you need. So I think it's a fantastic idea, whoever has come up with it. It is, and I have noticed that since last few months, whatever I have sold and for sale, that is the best thing, convenient for the sellers and for the buyers. It's a really good idea.
You see a lot of them.
Yeah.
Those storage bins.
Yeah,
they don't look too good. They don't look very nice, but at the same time, you have to see that you have to kind of overlook that when you're seeing a house or showing a house. They may not enhance the look of the house, but then you also have to think about, what? At least these people have tried to make the house look inviting and presentable.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's so true. Things that I notice a lot, in I'll say these carefully, I guess, the dog poop. I highly recommend when in the backyard, because there's no bigger turnoff than taking a walk through the backyard and coming back with a surprise. So it's nice to have that stuff cleaned up. And then of course the toilet seats. I love to have them down.
Yes.
You can help it, right?
Things that you don't think of that make a big difference.
Yeah, and especially for your photos and making sure that stuff like that is taken care of. And of course, our photographer, our staff photographer, Ben, makes sure that when he goes and does our shoots for us, that things like that are covered. I think that photos right now especially are so important. Getting in there, getting the good quality professional photos, the video, the 3D Matterport and iGuide walkthroughs, those sorts of things that we do they're the standard today. Going in with an iPhone and pulling your listing photos is just not enough.
No.
Yeah,
No,
no,
I
especially
think
for a lot of out-of-town buyers. You need those good photos.
Yeah.
It's so true.
first
These days, mostly people have been, I think 44%, or even higher percentage of buyers these days are only making up their mind to buy a house through the internet. And they only make the showing or go the visit just to assure that this is the house we want. But they already have shortlisted homes through the internet. So it is so important to have the virtual tour and the good quality pictures. So it enhances the house and it shows the quality of your home. So it is important to have your home shown on with the nice pictures and nice virtual tour for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. What else do we have for notes here? I think that, the bathrooms. We talked about keeping them clean and everything, but giving it that fresh spa-like feeling, right? With maybe some soaps and coordinated towels and that sort of thing is nice, just to give it that spa look, right? Make it smell good in there, nice and clean. What else do we have here? Staging as well. So when we talk about, there's so many staging companies out there. Last week we spoke about, there's good staging and bad staging, and not every different house can really use the same staging. And so make sure it's appropriate. But the things that I like are, the cookbooks in the kitchen, right? And the cup of coffee and, the flowers, a nice comfy armchair. So what we're trying to portray is just a very comfortable home. I can see myself relaxing here, right?
I think you just want buyers to be able to visualize themselves in your home. And that's the most important thing you can do, is to provide that for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Any other ideas, ladies, that you want to get out there today?
I think I would like to, because if somebody is considering to sell their home, and I would always have done that myself to my own sellers, that I do go make 2 visits before the house is actually on the market. First, when we talk about what needs to be done, then I go maybe 48 hours before that, go to the house and go check the list, what we talked about, if something needs to be done, and then they can quickly do it. So once the house is on the market, then it is like you don't have too much time to do all those things.
Yeah.
So I would rather delay a day or two to have the house on the market, the sign in front of the lawn, than not do anything and then wait till the house on the market. So then you don't have time. So I do that, and I would recommend to people that they should walk in their own home as sellers, but they should walk in their home as buyers. Like, would I buy this house? What things I would look at? What things I would not want it? So I think that also gives you a different perspective to you as a person, that you can say, oh, even though something is sentimental you have on there, then you say, you know what? No, it doesn't do justice to my showing or to my home. So let's remove it. Put it somewhere.
Well, and speaking about that, Arvind, that very popular question we get is how depersonalized should I make this, right?
Yes.
Should I, how far do you go? Do you leave some family photo pictures up? Do you completely remove everything and just, have just artwork up and that sort of thing? And I think to some extent that, we should have some personalization, right?
Yes.
Somebody lives here, but you want to be able to see yourself living here. So if you are a big game hunter and you have that big stuffed animal head on the wall, that might not be the kind of decoration that you want in your home. It just won't appeal to everyone. And the same thing with children's artwork is great, but when it's kind of everywhere and all over the fridge and everything, we just may want to, reduce that a little bit, right?
I think my purpose is here is that I think anything overwhelming, I think everything in a balance should be okay. If you have your child's picture and then the cute picture, maybe one in their bedroom, maybe one of your couple in your own bedroom, and one maybe family picture in the family room. Maybe you can have one or here there the best picture that you have with a neutral frame. But I think anything with a balance should be okay, because you don't want people to think that, oh, well, it's just very so cold. You don't want to give the feeling of a home as a cold home. You want to give a feeling of a home, cozy home, that you know what, we can have memories here, we can live here, and we can have great family time here. So I don't want to have 100% taken everything out of the walls of as a family picture and all that, but I think there should be something tastefully that it doesn't overwhelm. It's not overdoing it. That's what my recommendation would be.
Absolutely. Any thoughts on that as well, Jules?
Yeah, just everything you guys are saying. Yeah, I agree with. I think I like seeing pictures of the people that live in the home. I don't know, it connects you in some way to see who lives in this house. I don't know. I think people like seeing a couple photos of the family if they have kids, what kind of life they lived in that home, like Arvin was saying, so you can picture maybe your life there. And I think that helps. But yeah, to a minimum and to a point where it's simple, but it's there still. I think it's okay.
Absolutely. Good. Well, thanks very much, ladies, for joining. You got another point, Arvin?
Yes, I just want to say that also, I think I also might would like to do it in the family room. Sometimes you have those pillows that they already have given their life to you already. So make sure that you have those pillows, like, they're fluffed up and they're really, really nice and good looking. So because those kind of things, these are small things, but at the same time, any throw cover or anything that, if it's really gone, it has gone beyond. So just replace that with nice bright color. So we are in spring now, so I think bright colors, something maybe here and there, could really enhance the look of the room.
Yeah, and keep those blinds open and keep that natural light coming in whenever possible, right? And like you said earlier, leave all the lights on. Let's make it nice and bright in the home. And yeah, absolutely. Good. Anything else anyone would like to add?
I think that's everything. I was going to say there's different things you can do for different seasons too. So it depends on what season you're in. If it's spring, summer, winter, fall. If it's the winter, maybe put a fireplace on, give that cozy feeling. There's just, I think you just have to play to what is happening outside as well. And that's important to look at too.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Good point. Okay, well, wonderful. I'm so glad that both of you joined me today and we're able to share this with everyone. Join us next week. We're going to be discussing waterfront and cottage properties because 'tis the season. Everyone is excited about looking at cottage properties and waterfront. And there's certain things that you need to be careful about and pay attention to with, especially with waterfront. So definitely join us next Thursday at noon for that. And again, thanks very much, ladies, and thanks to everyone for watching.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good day.
Okay, thanks.
We enjoyed, and give us a call if you need any help, anything you need. Angie Goulet's team is always there to answer any questions and help you any way we can. Thank you again.
Okay, thanks, folks. Bye-bye.
Bye.